Good evening and welcome to Sparkle of Light Spiritual Chat Show. My name is Alice Trevorrow. I'm a spiritual medium and psychic and a producer of the show. Now tonight we welcome obviously my co-host Judith Miller onto the show, and we also have a guest on tonight, and her name is Julie Dryburgh. Julie Dryburgh. Now Julie she's a medium, she's a spiritual healer as well. And she has been in this movement for a numerous amount of years. So I'm quite interested in finding out more about Julie's journey, which has been over 35 years. So there'll be a lot to talk about there. And we go a little bit further with that as well, because I know Julie, she does spiritual healing too. And I know that she's quite an advocate, for the spiritual movement. So it'll be interesting to see her journey, where she began, and also what's coming up for her, and also our spiritual chat, where it's an open-ended question as well, that we can share to you globally around the world. So we don't have anybody coming on tonight who will be asking any questions, but I promise you this will be happening very soon when I actually change my whole podcast, and I will be going to a different clientele, a different professional way of working as well, that will feels a little bit more right for me. And we'll be able to have guests on to the show. You don't have to be seen. You can just come on, you can ask questions and be part of it. And on that evening as well, there'll also be readings. So you'll be able to answer on the readings instead of it just being going through comment boxes. So it'll be a little bit more personal, and it'll make you feel just a little bit more part of the evening. So I'm looking forward to my journey with that as well. Now, I just before we move on to inviting Julie on tonight, I would like to also just name just a few little things that is happening. Now, I do also have a new podcast. It's on the throes of getting started, and it is called Sparkle of Light Chat Show. It's also about unexplained mysteries. So it will kind of cover many aspects, from paranormal, to spirituality, to near-death experiences, reincarnation, scientific phenomena, anything at all that you feel was a bit of a mystery and it was unexplained. Then I'm looking for guests to come onto the show, and then you can share your experience. And also we will be having some professional people coming on as well, who can also maybe help dialogue that into making it a wee bit more, maybe a wee bit more understanding to you and the audience as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all soon. I also have Thursday, November the 27th, I have an event coming up locally in the community, and I do that once a month, and it is in Arden Cable Hotel in Shore Road in Helensburgh, and it will be a psychic mediumship demonstration, and it will be with myself and also Clara Farland, who is also from Scotland, and there'll be competitions on the evening too, but it'll be a great evening, and we're really looking forward to welcoming everybody to coming back again, because it seems to be going really well, and I'm certainly enjoying my journey with that. And we've also got a Christmas one coming up and I will be working with Elaine Claire Harris O'Neill. Elaine Claire Harris O'Neill is quite well known as well in the movement, and I will be working with her, and we'll be doing card readings, mediumship, and there'll be Christmas competitions on that evening, even a Christmas cracker competition. No, you're not getting me. No, I'm not the cracker. I'm not the cracker. No, you're getting a real cracker. Yeah, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, I would like to say that all the portion of the proceeds on my monthly events that I do run, I do this to support Sparkle of Light events, which costs money, and I also do that to support my Sparkle of Light spiritual chat show podcast, which costs money too, and it is free to subscribe. So I don't ask anyone for money to come on to my show. I don't ask anyone for money for my podcast. I'm only asking for donations for the events and the show, and that's how I work through that. Okay, so in addition, I do charities throughout the year as well. And the one I'm doing at Christmas time is actually it's Tribe Animal Sanctuary. And it's Scotland. It's in Scotland, and it will be. You may see it in brackets around TASS. It's called TASS, Tribe Animal Sanctuary Scotland, and I will be supporting that charity. If you would like to find out a little bit more on that, please connect onto Facebook. You'll find out exactly what they do. But I think what they do is amazing. You know, they take in animals, they help heal them, they help get them better, and they take in all animals. Even animals that were at one point wouldn't have been here if they hadn't have took them in. Okay, yeah. And they brought them on remarkably. So I really think this is a worthwhile charity, and as I said, I do my charities throughout the year as well, because I feel, you know, in life, you know, yes, it's good to give back, you know, and I think, you know, you've got to receive as well, you know, but it's also good to give back, you know, and do an honest work for spirit world as well, you know. So I'm looking forward to that very much. So and I think that's me. I think that's all my news. I don't know about Judith. Judith, what you got? Have you got any news coming up? As if I don't know.
You know, I just want to say you're right when you say about the charity and things. I on my spiritual room, I have like a design on my wall, and it says, "If your hand is open to receive, it's open to give." And yes. that's very true. It's very true. So, and I love the charity this year. That's a lovely charity. So it is.
Yes,
so,
it is, isn't it? And yeah. You know, Judith, that was very much spirit led. You know, because I said to them, "Well, what charity will I do now? You know, I don't know what one to do now. I need your guidance." Lo and behold, the next day this all come up on my page, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't heard of this before."
And you just love how, yeah, I love just how spirit just always, you know, you put that call out, and the next day or within hours it could be, but they'll always answer it. They'll always answer it. So it's lovely. It sounds a lovely charity. And then I know you're an animal lover, and so are we. So
yeah,
for me, prophetic news episode 13. I think it's episode 13. Will be due coming out. There's quite a lot with spirit with the episodes. But and you know, I always do them spirit led. So it's when spirit has and when they have information, that they have those messages, and they have usually a nice big collective message too. That's when it'll always go. So there's usually either fortnightly or monthly, but it'll be one of the two. So episode 13 will be coming out. I have a new podcast too, and yours sounds really good and it sounds really exciting. And I'm looking forward to that. I think that would be really, really interesting, about, you know, the near-death experiences, you know, crossing all so many different things. And
there is, and it's so important that people who have had these experiences contact me, and I'll put my email up as well, you know, because there is so many experiences there that some people have experienced but don't know you know, should I share that with anybody? And I want you to feel comfortable to share it, because it's part of our world and it's part of people's experiences, you know.
It is, and you know, it's not as frowned upon now. Before people would have thought, oh, I can't tell anybody that, I can't share that. And we're now, it's nice that people are saying, come share that with us. Come tell us, you know, what was your experience? How did that make you feel? What was the outcome? You know, share that story, because by doing so, more and more people are going to do the same. It's going to help more and more people say, well, actually, it doesn't sound really silly what happened. You know, I've heard this. Let's share this. So I think it absolutely, and I'm quite excited for you in the new podcast. That'll be amazing. So my new podcast starts on the 22nd of November, and at the moment it's a monthly, but that will change. Just before Christmas and things, it's coming up. I'm just breaking it in. So it premieres on the 22nd of November, and it's all about so many of our loved ones maybe are still alive, but have been lost with their family, you know, separated. They can't connect with, they don't know where their families are. You have other people who have lost loved ones and they've never been able to give that closure or return their loved one home. So also, so it's to do with like all that, and you know, helping people with their birth parents who maybe have been adopted, or birth parents who have been trying to find the child that they gave up for adoption, or it could be the child who was adopted looking for the birth parents. But like you, Alice, everything's spirit-led, and it's called Their Voice, Their Story. So it is very much, it's spirit who will be doing the talking. I'll just be passing exactly what spirit are sharing. And like a bit of prophetic news, I'm sure they would like to throw in a bit of the wonders of the word. And you know, I'm quite confident they'll probably want to do that, because that's something that they love to do. And I think it's helping more and more, because more and more we're opening that awareness to so much that we didn't see. You know, us as a planet, as a world, and it's exciting. It's exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. So lots of planning going into place, lots of things in the background going on.
Sounds good. It sounds exciting. I think this is going to be amazing for you. I really do. I really feel good about this for you, Judith. I really do. And I think as well, you'll get a lot of people even looking for people who are lost, you know, as well, and needing just a little bit more spiritual insight and a little bit more help if it's possible. You know, I know it's not guaranteed, but if it's possible as well, you know.
We can only do our best.
Yeah.
We do it through the love, and we do it through hope and trust and faith. Yeah. So, but there is big changes coming up for me in the new year, but we can chat about that further on.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We've got a lovely guest, haven't we?
Yeah, and I would like to get her onto the show and hear all about her experiences as well. So let's welcome our lovely guest this evening, Julie Dryburgh. Hi,
Hello.
Julie. Hi there.
Hi, Lily.
How are you?
Hi, Judy.
Hi.
It's lovely to have you on.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here, and it was really interesting to listen to what you two were saying, because one, the animal charity, my two doggies are from Romania. You know, and if it wasn't for those people who got them out the kill shelters, you know, clearly they wouldn't be where they are today. And it takes these people with passion, and it's hard for them, you know, when they're out in all weathers, they're bringing the animals, but they do it for love, you know, and any little bit of monetary that we can give them, whatever it may be, it always, all that just adds up. So it's beautiful, and I'm excited about both your podcasts as well. So I will be listening.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Lots of changes, isn't there?
Yeah.
But it's lovely. You do quite a bit too, Julie. reading about your journey, you cover quite a bit as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've been I say 35, I think it's maybe over about 40 years now. Yeah, since the 7 years of age is when I realized there was something quite, like we all do, right? We all feel different, not quite knowing what it is. And I've just progressed with probably all the modalities, you know, the Reiki, the craniosacral, doing, because it started in the beauty fast, and I thought, you know, it just doesn't quite fit the beauty side of it. So when I moved to reflexology, then it was all about, oh, look how the body reacts, you know, oh, and then my fascination with the body, the human form, and then it got to the spirituality and the soul and your mind-body connection and your thoughts. It's just gone, whoa, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. Can I just take you back to that a little bit? You say you started on the beauty and the reflexology. So what were you doing with that? I know what reflexology is, but
yeah.
What changed then for you from that to what you do now?
What I do now, you know, ladies, I think there's a lot of us, and especially those watching this evening, will just know there's something different. We don't want to do whatever anybody considers normal. You know, I should have been a nurse. All my family are nurses, or actually, I was a student nurse and a carer. So I've always done the helping side. It's always been there all my life. But I just never wanted to do. When I grew up, I didn't want to get married or get pregnant or have a family. My soul was like, no. So I thought, right, they connect into people's, like, I've always wanted to make people feel better. So initially it's beauty, isn't it? It's going into their nails, their hair, their makeup. And it was nice, but it wasn't, I didn't feel it deeply, you know. It was like, because the makeup you could just take off at the end of the day. It's not forever. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, then nowadays you get tattooing, but not then, way back when. But it's that I wanted something. I just felt something was, and then you mentioned a lot about spirit-led and God-led and your creative, whatever you want to say. It was as though I was going, and I just happened to divert to something would just fall in my lap, and I'd like, I'll try that, and I was quite open to new experiences because I thought, but it's interesting. If I look back then, I was just going with it, right? Whereas now I could see the pathways, I can see where it wasn't working, I can see that then it would be all these frustrations and thoughts and processes. But when I look into it, it's got me here right now, talking to you two, you know. So
it's all stepping stones. Yeah, it's stepping stones, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So did you connect with spirit when you were younger in any way?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is interesting. So obviously everybody knows I'm Scottish. I come from Fife. And my gran, when she was alive, she would always take me to the cooperative then, right? So every day she'd take me up to the shop. And there was this, it was always funny. There was this man working behind the counter with his white hat and everything on. And every time, I don't know, do you know what, ladies? I don't even know how it started, but the flip coin, we started doing the flip coin, and I was like, heads, I won all the time. And and he'd go, I'll get you tomorrow. I'm like, no, you won't. That's probably a little bit cocky then, but I never did. But I'd always get things right. And I never got to know my gran, but I do feel that she had a sense, and I've found out from my mum as well that she saw her gran at the bottom of her bed. So my mum's seen spirit. Now I haven't seen. It's interesting when the courses I've done over the years where people are like, yes, I've seen Jesus, I've seen God, I've seen. I was like, no, didn't see anything in that meditation. But and there were times through my life that I thought, why am I not seeing why? You know, why? But I understand now it's because there was that path. So I just got on the path of it was healing that got me, you know, the Reiki. I think most of us do start with Reiki to start with. I learned that, become a master. The interesting thing is I did it twice. I don't know why.
Did you?
Yeah, I did a lot of things twice. I don't know, maybe it's so good I forgot that I did it the first time. I have no idea why. So I became a master twice. Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, as you do, right enough. I've got my Reiki Masters, but I don't use it. I don't use it at all, you know. I did it because I wanted to do this and I felt it was the right thing to do. But after I'd done it, I decided that, but sometimes I'll use some of the symbols, but not very occasionally, but the majority of my healing comes from spirit world, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
I do it that way. And I work with my own spirit guides that way. But yes, I did it. But I think I'd done it because my nursing career ended, you know, and after being in that for so long, with it just abruptly ending at the end, then I felt maybe it was me that needed the Reiki and the healing, do you know? So I went to do the course. And I got what I wanted from it, and I appreciate the training I got for it, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do, you know, and that led me back on the path again of where I should be going. So yes, Spirit are very clever. They're very clever.
Oh, they are. I mean, I've had the, you know, what I say to clients, right? If the road was flat, that would be what. To me, it'd be like there's nothing to learn. But I've had the ups, the downs, the bends, the roads, the mountains, the steep hills. I've had it all, especially the last 3 years. But you know what? It's just like you're saying, everything that we've done, everything. I cannot. My biggest thing the last 3 years is I cannot, or I don't want to stand up on a platform, do my inspirational speaking, and not be true, not truly understand what it is to feel. I want to connect. I want people to know that, I've been at a stage where I've had absolutely no money, none. Everything's paid, but nothing's spare, right? To the point of, what if something happened, you know? Or the fact that I've known, you know, emotionally, you're there, you're on the floor, and you're like that, I need to get up, right? But so I've been there about all these emotions that make, people use this word authentic, but I don't want a 20-year-old person telling me how I should be feeling at my age, because how did they know?
That's right, exactly.
How did they know? So that's why now when I'm relatable, people can see, do you know what? Because I remember many years ago, I've just finished work. I was working in banking, and I'd gone to the shop, and this woman, she didn't have much money, and she made a judgment about me, because she looked at me, she went, and I can't even remember what she said, but I was like, oh, okay. And I thought she obviously looked at me thinking I had loads of money, just by the way. And I was like that. I certainly do not. And it just shows you how people can make a judgment just by how you look. But you can't at all. It's just everybody's got their story. So that's cool.
And it's good that, you know, when we've been through that experience ourselves, we can speak about it with passion, and we can show that we've come through, and we've been there ourselves. We understand all sides of it, and it's not that anybody's flippant about any side, because each time it's hard. You know, going through all those lessons, it's very hard. So it's good that we can speak from experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And what I found now is, when I speak from the heart. I speak from the heart, and my inspirers come in, and then my voice changes, and it's kind of becomes different, and it's just, and that's why I love doing my divine services, because I get to do the philosophy. And when I'm on stage doing the speaking, it's just, I do what you do, ladies. You just go, trust, and let it in. But the trust has come, the last few. I've trusted, but now I know. That makes sense? I trusted, now I know. And I've put the two together. I know now who I am, and not as an ego at how good I am, but one has to realize that, you know what, if we stand back and go, well, yeah, I'm all right, I'm good. No, I've worked 40 years to get where I am. I've spent a little bit of money to get where I am, and I realized that where I am is of a high accord. I mean, the integrity, like we all work to, is paramount in what I do, and it's just you have to have integrity, and be honest. Do you know what I mean? You have to be honest. You can't say, oh well, I've had 10,000 clients and you've probably only had about 4. Seriously, you're like, and
you're right in what you say, because there is a lot of money put out. You know, we do spend a lot of money in everything that we learn. You know, the greatest teacher of all is spirit world, but we're also living in a physical world as well. So there is accreditations that you still need to get if you want it. And there's also the physical part of life as well, that we need to understand how we go about things, you know, the right way. and learn from the wrong way as well, you know. So yeah, but yeah, although Spirit is our main teacher, we still are out money as well, with, you know, and they don't want us to be like that all the time, you know.
No, absolutely not. You're bang on there, ladies, and it's that trust. It's when I connect, and you'll be the same, right? When I connect, the love that comes through, and I am so feeling, because my heart is, and I will not allow anybody to diminish my heart. I'm like, no, it's open. It's taking me a long time to get this wide, and there's nobody that's going to allow that to shut down. And I've noticed that even there could be, you might say something tonight, and I just feel that love, you know, that emotion, but it's beautiful because, and that's where I want to be. I want to be there, that when people look up at me, they go, do you know what? I can tell she's been through it. I could tell she means what she says, because it's got to be, you've got to walk the talk, speak the speak. You've got to be able to be that way with everybody you talk to. And that's why when Spirit just come in, there's times when I've done, because I work a lot with America, and you know, the time zone is and all that. So it's been quite late at night, and maybe at 10 at night, I've gone, oh, I'm a little bit tired. And then when I've gone on, I've gone, woof. And
That's
I've just, you know, because I'm like, and it's, oh my God, ladies, I can talk on it. It's just phenomenal about how working with Spirit and working with your inspirers. And I've been going into trance a lot lately, and it's all just coming together. And I just giggle because all that time ago, when I thought I knew I was different and I wanted to be different, but I didn't exactly know where I was going to head. I mean, ladies, I could not have gone to my guidance teacher, good old Mrs. Geddes, all those many years ago and said, I'm going to be a psychic medium, Mrs. Geddes. Oh, yes, okay, dear. Yes, okay. These are the qualifications you will need. No, you know, that wasn't then in those days, you know. So I just learned that when I used to hear things or see things, or, you know, the hair in the back of the neck, the arms, but it, you know, I'll go back to when I was 9. I did get scared. I got really clingy to my mum, you know. I would not be left in the house on my own. I was, no. And even my stepfather and I, we'd read horror books like Stephen King and James Herbert, horror books. And it took a lot for my clairvoyance to come, because over the years of my mediumship, where I was going, right, okay, I'm ready for the mediumship. I'm ready for the clairvoyance. But, you know, it was kind of like, I don't want to see dead people. Don't want to see, I've watched the movies, you know, where it's like, I see dead people. But that doesn't happen. That's the movies, right? We get that. But it took a lot of confidence to say, do you know what? Spirit, I want to see you. So that's what I'm working on now, to see the Spirit. I'm always like that. Not at night, not at house, during the day. You know, it's just, you've got to be you and be authentic and have a giggle, have a laugh, you know, because like you said, Alice, before, we're human. You know, we've got to remember that we are human, and, you know, if we have Spirit walking through our house every night, we wouldn't get the sleep, would we?
No. There's got to be the discipline in it as well. And I believe I learned a lot about that side of it, that I didn't realize and didn't know, you know, how much I was actually carrying with me, you know, for many years, you know, so yeah.
You touched on, Julie, philosophy. You said you love philosophy, and a lot of people, when they start on their journey, they're scared of philosophy, and I think it's because they overthink it. We overthink things. It's the human side of us coming through. But when we get into the philosophy side and we start, you know, sharing those messages, and it's lovely, and it's nice to hear you talk about the philosophy. You sound quite passionate about the philosophy.
Yeah, it's really, to me, it's real. I never knew that till I knew that, and I've always said that once we start speaking, and it's just, if you have something you just really are passionate about, it's just naturally comes out of you, and it comes from your heart, and it's not, and it's just allowing the words to come through to touch someone. You know, like we all say, if I'm talking to an audience, and how many people, I don't know, 5, whatever, and if I touch that one person, if that one person goes away and goes, I never thought of that. Do you know what? That's right. That. Do you know what? I don't actually do that. Yeah. And if that just sets that little seed in their brain, then, you know, because we must remember, And it goes back to the old saying that words can heal and words can destroy.
Absolutely.
Words can destroy, and who has the right to destroy another's way of being? Nobody.
Yeah.
So that's why, with encouragement, and that's why the philosophy comes out. And I understand, Judith, when you're saying people it's the word philosophy. It's like, oh my God, that's not me. What is that? That's for university. It's just a word. It could just be tell your story, feel into your story, tell people how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I think people, as you say, people hear the word philosophy and they automatically think they have to use these really intricate words, these really and you know, I remember when I started in services and things, and it was the prayers. It wasn't the philosophy, because I was always I was that chatterbox anyway. But it was the prayers, and because I was in the old school and people were saying, you know, you have to, and it was all very formal, and I really struggled with that. And I can remember saying to my spirit team, and they were going, Judith, just speak from your heart.
Yes.
A prayer comes from your heart.
Yes.
And there's no specific words. And once they told me that, I was like, oh, that's okay then. Okay. I don't have to do those big words.
It is. Yeah. And the thing is, would you've got, and this is what I'm saying, when the passion comes through, when you are yourself, I don't use big long words. I mean, sometimes inspirational, they come through and I'm like, oh, okay. But it's, I don't, in my own being, it might be the odd word, but I'm not that way inclined or articulate that way. It's just not me. I just want to talk to the people who relate to me, you know, my peers, people who just will just know what I'm saying. I don't need to show
that's what brings people to you. That's what draws people to you, because you're yourself. Yeah.
I don't want people feeling intimidated or all that kind. I just want to be me, stand on stage there, just give out what's coming through me with absolute love and joy.
Yeah. Can I just say something though? When I was starting out on my journey, philosophy scared me because it was put in a way to me that, and I realized now, obviously, but back then I didn't. And when you're new to it as well, you're trying to do it right and please everybody.
Yes, you're right.
It was quite strict then too.
Very strict, yeah. And I was told my philosophy had to be of the principles, you know, the 7 principles. Had to be, you know, someone from the past who was, you know, an excellent medium, you know, one of the pioneers. So that scared me, you know, that scared me.
Like that.
You know, well, it is. But it shouldn't be. And I know a lot of people won't like me for saying that, but it shouldn't be. It should be from the heart. It should be what's actually going on in your life, the world, what's going on in people's thoughts, you know, your experiences. Because bless them, the pioneers, they were remarkable, and God loved them all, you know. But we're living in now nearly 2025. So is it not time for us to kind of move on a little bit and start working from the heart here and start talking about things that's actually happening now? Because that's what people want to hear. They want to hear you've experienced that. Oh, how did she cope with it that way? I never looked at it like that. You know, so let's kind of move it up with the times as well. Yeah, and I know I love what if it wasn't for our pioneers in the past, then I totally am with you on that, and my love goes to them. But we have to move it forward as well. And I do believe our new president in the SNU is actually the right person to be doing that. Do you know? So you know, fingers crossed that continues. But regardless of the SNU. Sorry, Judith. I'll just finish. Yeah, but regardless of the SNU part of it, the normal churches, you know, who are not SNU, it doesn't matter. You're working from the love of God. God works with us all. You know, you're working with the love of spirit world. Spirit love us all, you know, and we're all equal. And here in this physical life, we have all our boxes, and it's time to open these boxes, share it, bring us all together, and not feel bad about standing up, doing a philosophy on something that was meaningful to you, that you sharing with everybody else. Because I'll tell you now, the philosophies that I have done regarding that, I've had more people come up to me afterwards and say, I understood what you said there about that, and I've had hugs and etc. But I've stood up and I've done philosophies on the pioneers and came off, and nobody's came near me. And it's not that I'm looking for somebody to come up and say, oh great, I enjoyed what you did. It's not that. It's just, did it not hit home, or are they just thinking, oh, here we go again?
I know you talk about the pioneers, and yes, there is some fantastic pioneers. The philosophy philosophy was always I just always talked what I was passionate about. It was the prayer, the formality of the prayer always made me nervous. But yes, there is, as you say, about the pioneers, but there will always be new pioneers. There has to be going forward. More people were, to help the movement move forward, but to continue those pioneers.
Do you know what? That's a really interesting thing to say, Judith, because when we get taught, when we're all on the SNU, the SNUI, that when you go way back when to the first pioneer, that's the first pioneers, and you're right. There's other I remember reading Doris Stokes when I was 9. I read all of them, and I've reread them this year, which is interesting. And I remember, because I used to always read, always had a book in my hand. I remember then I knew I was going to be a medium when I was 9. Yeah. And what was interesting, was it January? I think I read the last book, or the second last book, that she was talking about the SNU. She was talking about spiritualism. And I thought, oh my God, I've been there. I've done that. I've been to the, and now at the age I'm at. But when I was younger, I remember reading those books going, I'm going to be a medium. I never told anybody that. That's my thought. But you're right. There has to be pioneers coming up through so that, you're right.
Especially also to show how mediumship is evolving.
Yeah.
It's moving forward, and it's spirit led, but it shouldn't be restriction. It shouldn't be restricted, because that's us stopping ourselves from learning from spirit in the bigger sense. But when we look at Helen Duncan, when we look at like all the different old, going back even to like the 1900 mediums, they had to learn and try and develop in their time. And when I was actually talking to my spirit team about Helen Duncan, and we were chatting about Helen Duncan, and spirit were saying, there's no rights and wrongs. Everybody was learning. We were all trying to understand and learn how we can progress and how we can evolve. And to do that, we have to make mistakes sometimes,
that's how we grow. Yeah.
So it has to keep evolving, and for our generation, the younger generations below us, coming forward and learning and evolving, and following their path.
Absolutely right. Philosophy is it's just so immense. It's beautiful. And we all have, I'm glad of the foundations that I've had and the code of conduct that I work under. And I have to say, I've been on many platforms around the world, and you do notice the difference.
Do you? Yes.
You do notice the difference from the ones that are certainly trained and ones that aren't, and the things that some people say that you go, okay. I was doing a class and partnered up in the Zoom rooms, and she was like, oh, I've got a little child here. I went, okay. She went, he's your child? I went, no. She went, he is? I went, no. And she actually argued with me, and I was like, I can assure you. And then it was, well, you must have lost it, never realized it. I was just like, that is just, and then this is what I will say out to everybody, which I am again passionate about, is do watch who you go to. There must be you know, do your homework on people, because I got a reading, and this lady, and she said, you blatantly came out and said it, oh, you're going to die at 85. I went, and because I do what I do, right, I was like, my team were just right there going, you know, and I was saying to people, you know, you've got to watch who you go to, because, you know, if that was someone else, right, you know, we have a responsibility, not just a personal responsibility, we have a responsibility that everybody that we talk to are sensitive, are going through trauma, have just lost someone, that's the word, very, very, very vulnerable. And you know what, we've got to watch what we say and how we say. We cannot promise anything, like we all know. We can just say, look, this is who is going to come in at the right time. But to tell someone that you're going to, the stories I've heard have just been quite scary.
Yeah, I've heard some terrible ones too, and I'm sure you have too, Alice.
I have.
Yeah, some shocking one, and it is wrong. It's
very wrong. It's very wrong. And you do wonder, you know, is this an ego thing in their part? Do they think that, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's horrible. It's horrible. And they can actually change the pathway of someone's journey as well. You know, they can
and as well, when I do the cards, because I do voluntary online as well, I just love it. But when I do the online and the cards, and someone will say, oh, can you bring my dad through? And I always say, I cannot. I says, because I always say, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this to who's watching this. If you were going through something in life and your mum and dad were there, and you're going through it would either be mum or dad that would help you through whatever you were going through. So that's what I say to them. So you might be asking for dad, right? But it was mum that you would have gone to when she was here on earth, and she's going to come forward, push dad out the way and go, I can help you with this. And that's what I'm saying. It's about whatever you're going through at that time, that your loved ones will be able to help you with in this life form that we're living. So it's personal responsibility is huge. You've just got to be, and that's why, you know, I've had by how I work with the code of conduct and my integrity, that's just, it's up there. It's just, I won't let anybody mess with that. So no.
I mean, I do. I mean, I have done some of the courses. You know, I did my SNU pass and my TPS one. And I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy it, and I've enjoyed all my training as well. You know, through people who are very well recognised in the movement, and I've took it all on board, and I definitely have learned the background of things I didn't know, also the disciplines as well, and the code of conduct, which, you know, kind of rhymed a lot to my own professional code of conduct in nursing as well, do you know, so it's all jammed in, do you know, but and all my training and everything I'm very, very grateful for, very, very grateful for, and people I've met through this journey I'm very grateful for, because it's all their path, me meeting them, and through that pathway that's got me here to what I'm doing. And you know how you said earlier on about, you know, I think you said something about you did you say this or not, or am I imagining it? Did you say about you'd quite like to do your own podcast someday? Did you say that, or am I imagining it?
Me.
Yeah.
Because I just I love meeting people and just hearing the story.
Well, I was kind of I was brought into this in a different way. I would never have seen myself doing podcasting, you know, because that wasn't me, you know, as I thought. And I was brought on to Paul Bannister's show, and it was spiritual talk, and I just went on, and it was a chat like we are doing just now, and then lo and behold, I was asked to come on and do the show with him and another person that was on as well, and I did it for a year, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, do you know, and then, you know, it was a case of, well, you know, Paul was moving on to do other things, and then I thought, well, I'm going to go on and do this, and I went on my pathway. What if I hadn't have done that chat show that night? I wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing now. I would never have ever considered myself doing this. The same as philosophy. If somebody had said to me, you'll stand up there as a platform medium, And I mean, it was actually Mavis Patilla that said to me one time, he said, "You'll be a very good inspirational speaker." And I thought, no, I thought this lady was meant to be really good, because there's no way I'll be an inspirational speaker standing up there in front of a large audience, like what she's saying. No way will I go up there, and God love her, she was right,
But that's do you know what you're saying there, Alice? That is what the listeners and the viewers are going to see and hear from these podcasts is never give up. And it's true. I know it now. I can say it, never give up on your dream. And I know we hear that, we see it on posts.
Yeah.
But oh my God, if I was to never do what I was doing, I wouldn't be here. If I'd never made that choice a couple of days ago to talk to God and go, right, God, come on, I need to be on some podcast. I need to get out there. I want to go global. And it just all worked for this evening. You've got to put the work in as well, but you've just got to have that trust that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And oh my God, if we all look back to when that we're all sitting here as psychic mediums doing our stuff for spirit, I mean, yeah. Even though I said that when I was 9 reading these books, right? But clearly that now I know that that's my soul, my need then, but it wasn't nurtured in me. So, if I had, my grand died when I was 9, but if I had, I don't know, maybe if I had a relation that was into that, it would have nurtured me quicker, but it didn't. And that's just the way it is. But I'm here now, and I just want to, I'm here now. And that's what our viewers can get from this is you don't know where you're going to be, but keep going, because you too will look back and go, oh my God, I had to do that.
Yeah.
I had to go through those experiences, and it makes us who we are.
Yeah, when you mentioned Doris Stokes earlier on about the books of Doris Stokes, that really touched a nerve with me, because I was 9 when I started to read Doris Stokes books, and I was just, we were in a bookshop one day, and my mum's taking me to books for like my age, and here's me looking at this book that attracted my eye, and I said, "Oh, I want that one." And then she's looking at it and she went, and then she thought, well, that actually sounds quite interesting. So I bought it. My mom bought it for me, and that was the very first book. I read it, my mum read it, we're right on to the next one, then the next one. And it's funny you say it touched a nerve with you, because something in me was telling me that I was going to be a medium, but I couldn't understand why, and I didn't even really realize what it was all about, but I think spirit were planting the seeds even way back then, and we weren't aware of it. What about you, Judith? What about you? Where was your seeds planted?
I was kind of different, to be honest. So I've always been spirit trained. I've been completely spirit trained. So spirit always kept saying to me, "Stop with the certificates, Judith, stop it." And I've always been trained with them, but I would have been the opposite, in the sense that I always knew what was going to happen. I knew what people were going to say. I just knew, but I used to just keep pushing it away. I kept pushing it away. But every so often I would be drawn back, and then I would be drawn back a bit more. And I couldn't explain to you why I was being drawn back. But all my life, from when I was a child, all I have loved is angels. Is I've always been angels, and angels and feathers. I've always had this thing for angels and feathers, and I didn't realize. Okay, I thought it was my mum's faith, our faith. We were brought up through the church, and so I just assumed it was that. But I think a part of me pushed it away because my mum had a really strong Christian faith. So to her, that was like, no. But she didn't realize that she was so on point with her messages, and that she just wasn't practicing it in that sense. It was her faith. So I found it hard, and I think probably part of what I pushed it away was because I felt it was frowned upon. My mom's family didn't understand, and so I did that way. But every time I was pulled back to it, I was pulled back more stronger and stronger. And I just, looking back now, I was always going to follow that path. It didn't matter how much I pushed away. I was going to follow that path because they kept bringing me back.
As they do. As
they do. We know that, right? We do. We can go that. Oh, here we go. So yeah, but there's never been. I think there's been times through my, especially mediumship, the last 4 or 5 years that where I've, we all know that we enhance our senses, that we've already got the sight, sound, taste, touch, and hearing, and with the clairs. And I remember when the biggest of which totally threw me was when if they wanted me to really focus on my hearing more, and then they would take away the sight or they'd take away the feeling, but it would be, and I'd sit there as a new medium going, I don't want to, I don't want to, oh. And I wouldn't put my hand up, and then I'd go, right, hand, no, don't do it. The amount of times in class would I've just go, no. And then it just got to the time that I went, right, that's it. I have to go and practice, because and it's like what I'm saying, how would you practice if you don't, you've got to stop the fear, you've got to stop the fear. But you know what, the experience over the last 40 years, from being initially the healer to all the modalities, the craniosacral, the Reiki. I mean, honestly, there's nothing I've not done. I've worked on, animal charities in the UK, donkeys and all the animals, giving them healing. So I've done all that, and working with the animals and working with spirit, that's what I truly love. And that's what literally makes my heart sing. And zing is what I say as well, because that is really what I feel, it's just, there's nothing more wonderful than having the feeling of spirit and knowing that love unconditionally, that's what it's all about. They truly, truly love you. They truly love you. And that love is just unsurmountable. It's beautiful. I just love it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
That is true. I know you do the psychic medium, and I heard you mention cards. Do you do cards? Lovely. So do you do tarot cards or oracle cards? And I know Alice loves the oracle card, the angel cards.
I like my angel oracle cards. Yeah, I've never took tarot, and it's just me. Just until recently. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it works great, though. I'm sure it works great for everybody else. It just doesn't work for me.
Alice, you and I are so similar, because I was learning I wanted to learn tarot, and I did courses in tarot. Then
So did I.
You know what? I thought I got to a stage I could hear my Judith hearing about your spirit team. They're like, oh my God, she's doing something else. And it was like, why are you doing something else? Because I thought, I can't learn something else. I've got to go out and be who I'm meant to be, So if you were to say to me, oh, Julie, let's learn tarot, I'd be like, I'll do it. Yeah. And if I have to, I will. But it's been the angel cards have been more softer approach for me. But as they're only tools.
It makes me laugh, because you were saying about Julie, spirit taking this of the sight away to make you hear, doing, and actually I bought the tarot cards, and I always loved my angel cards and my angel oracle, and I would have always used them for myself. I loved using them for myself, but every time we went to the tarot, I was like, this just isn't me. This isn't me. But I laugh now, because I last 6 months I've been really drawn to the tarot, and it's strange because even when I've been doing like readings, like if it's private readings, they've started showing me like a tarot card during the reading, and
wow, I'm like, beautiful.
They just showed me and I'm not using the cards, but they're showing me the cards, and I thought it was funny, because I'm obviously meant to learn them for a reason.
You cannot not take that when it's in your vision. Yeah, you've got to go.
And I've never heard of them doing that. I know they take your sight, like you said, they'll take the different clairs, and they'll get you to work hard with them. But I thought it was quite interesting that they're showing me those cards in a reading.
Yeah, we just need to clarify that they're not literally making me blind, ladies and gentlemen. What they're doing is they're allowing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, in case people think, oh, she's gone blind, I don't want to be a psychic. It's only if I'm on the path like we talk about that our inspirers and our team want us to progress, they will take something slightly not as good as it could be, and then they'll bring something else forward for us to learn. So for me, it was the in case people think, oh my God, I don't want to. But it's just it's you go with the flow, and I've not heard of that, and that's a beautiful gift to have with. But even me with the cards, I love the cards, but I can hear it before I've even dealt the cards. I'm hearing it because I could hear more. Thoughts and processes.
I'm clairaudient.
Yeah.
I'm very clairaudient. Where I never used to be. I never used to be. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Now
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
So I've always heard, and I've always had the visions, and I can see the visions with my eyes open. But I think with the tarot, it's quite complicated, and I think that puts a lot of people off with the tarot. But I think, as you say, they don't make us. That's the wrong word.
Yeah.
They guide us to learn.
Guide us to the path we're meant to be on.
Yeah, and to push ourselves and to try harder and keep working, isn't it? It's really
No, it is. It's a beautiful trend.
Yeah, I think you're right though, Julie. What you were saying about they took one part away, but it really is to strengthen the other parts as well.
Absolutely. It came to
Yeah, and then once you've got your whole, if you want to call it chakras, or if you just want to call it, your whole elements there of the workings of spirit world, then once you've got it all, then it means that they, with the energy vibration, they can pull in what you're needing, with the person that you're working with, because you do work differently, as with everybody, whatever reader, you can work with one person that comes for a reading, and you'll work completely different to the person you had maybe in before, and it's the same with a demonstration. You'll work one way in a demonstration, but you'll go to another demonstration, and lo and behold, you're working completely, maybe you're using more clairvoyance, or claircognitive, and other times you can do a dem and it's just completely, it's all clear sentience as well, clear sentience.
Oh yeah, clear sentence, clear feeling. Oh, I love, and that's I know that when I connect with say a mother and daughter, and what's happening now is I feel that absolute, because not everybody's like this with their mum and daughters, like their mum, and not everybody, but that love that just rushes through me, and it just and I can actually say, I know that you loved your mum, and I can say that because not everybody does, but you are, and that's when the emotion of them that come out, because I am now becoming the feeling of mother. And when it changes, that I'm saying, I know, and that's when, after all the years of like we go through our teachings, when you actually relax and allow them to speak and allow them to feel, like you see the clear sentence, that to me that's the most profound thing, just allowing spirit to come through and just bring their essence, as they say, bring that person through and just relay the message, relay what they need to be told, not be told, but what they may want to hear, what's going on in their lives, is just the most amazing thing. So we're all here as a collective, aren't we? Just helping people become they're meant to be, literally. We can all, people that do not become, that's fine, that's their choice if they really don't, but I know from certain clients I've worked on, they've just had this urge, and if you keep stopping it for so long, it's just going to give, and you're just, because once you're on the path, it's you learn things a bit hard, it's a bit difficult, right? But oh my God, look at who we've become, look at what we're doing. And that's when I think that, and I go back to that personal responsibility of knowing that it's not even a job, it's a fantastic thing to do, to be able to give that encouragement to people, and animals as well that are transitioning, I work with animals to help them on their path and help humans. And even when we go to the hospital and help people transition just by being there and holding that love space for them, that's just, because not everybody, some people are, scared of, leaving behind their family members and whatever goes on. But you know what, when you go into that space of love and unconditional, it's just the most beautiful, profound.
Yeah, it truly is. I know. Whereabouts are you staying now? Is it England? Is that right?
Jersey. I'm in Jersey.
Oh,
Channel
Jersey.
Islands.
That, of course. Yeah, it's Jersey. Yeah. But there is a Scottish and Irish trait there. Is that that you were telling me?
Yes. I'm Scottish.
Yeah.
I was born in Kirkcaldy Fife, and part of my other side was Irish. So yeah, I've got an Irish middle name. So yeah, it's the Celtic. All in Celtic.
Yeah. Oh,
And
lovely.
here we are.
Yeah.
You're above me, so that like we've got the Scottish, the Irish, and I've got a mixture of both. Who would have thought that?
Yeah,
You know,
lovely.
because we were just we were chatting before this, and I was saying to Alice, you're Scottish, but with the Irish heritage as well. And I'm in Ireland, but I have a Scottish heritage. From one side of my family, Scottish, and one side is from here. So it's interesting, you know, that there's that full blend.
It is. It's just, you know what? It's just, again, when you connect with people, and as well that I was watching, because I've done a lot on my own, and then it's great to collaborate. It's great to come together, and it's great to have that commonality of what you do. So you two ladies are doing a fine job coming together to allow people like myself coming onto your platform to speak from the heart. So you know what? I'm so grateful for the opportunity. So I want to thank you both so much. Because
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. What's coming up for you, Julie, then? Have you got anything you'd like to share to our listeners?
What I'm doing is I'm getting more out there on Facebook and the Instagram with the posts and everything. I'm getting myself more, you know, allowing people to see the true Julie that's come through. You know, many years ago, I would have been quite selfish. That's why I know that things that I'm doing now would never have been given to me then, because I would have used it in the wrong sense. I would have ego. Yeah. I would have been, look at me, I can do this. But it's just that sense of now it's more of a, you know what, I've got something to do. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to help people. I have been healing for over 40 years. You know, I'm going to say it. We are fantastic healers. I connect into my inspirers now. I don't necessarily do the Reiki healings and all that anymore. I tune to the person, ask my team to come in, and we, not quite psychic surgery, but quite that way of helping them come in to do in a more deeper level. So I'm progressing all the time. So I'm still doing my healing online. I'm doing a lot of it online around the world, but I do the odd hand-on, and people in Jersey can get me when I'm here, but it's mostly on Zoom and Messenger that I work with. I just want to move on. I want to get on more podcasts. I want to talk to everybody. I want to get on the shows. You know, if Mark Fraser can be as big as he is, I too am going that way.
Yeah. So the world's your oyster. You're open to it all.
Is my oyster. It is, and you know, every day, and it's what we say, ladies and gentlemen, viewers that are watching, do what you're grateful for, because your dream can come true, and I mean that. I mean, this is my dream. I can't express how much I adore this, and it is you guys giving us mediums the platform to springboard off to be seen even more. And, you know, I want to do more and more and more and get more podcasts in my belt. So, yeah, this is where I'm headed. So thank you. Yeah.
And it's like those, what we were talking about earlier with the pioneers.
Yes.
You know, it's like yourself, you know, people like yourself, Julie, coming on and telling their stories. And you are becoming the pioneers, you know. Sharing the knowledge and sharing our journeys is important, because that encourages other people, and it shows them that there's nothing's impossible.
It is, and yeah, you're right, Judith. Absolutely, nothing is impossible, because you know what? If you believe, you'll pick yourself up. You'll keep walking, and you'll say, do you know what? And then, like I say to clients, just have a little quick glimpse back. You don't need to, and just go, oh, Jules, what a journey we've done. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Same, and we'll keep meeting people. The thing I love doing mostly is meeting people, like-minded people that do what I'm doing. And you know, when we all come together at certain points in life and we share it even more, that's what it's all about. And if I feel what I feel now, like so happy that I'm doing this with you guys, then
it's the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know I'm going to change the subject here a little bit, but what's Jersey like? I've never been to Jersey.
I was going to ask that. I've never been to.
Jersey's beautiful, right? I always get the mileage. It's a small island. I think it's 9/5. Please don't kill me if that's totally wrong. But there's about 110,000 people on here. But there's probably, or just over 100,000 people, but there's more cars now than people. That is a weird fact. But it's the most lush, beautiful place. It is stunning. I mean, there is, where I'm living now, I swim in the sea. Well, I did before it got too dark every night, but I'm still swimming in the sea in the weekend. But the beach is just there. It's a beautiful way of life. I mean, and when we enhance and we talk to people about things that are free, you know, things that God, whatever your denomination is, it's just the sea. Every time I go in the sea, I thank the sea for keeping me safe. You know, when I go out in the sunshine, I just pray to the sun. It's just beautiful. But there's beautiful walks. There's a beautiful way of life. Yeah, like everywhere else, it's becoming increasingly expensive. I mean, it is. The rental here is quite high. I mean, it is very high rental here. And so you've got one side of it that's absolutely beautiful and stunning. Then you've got the realistic side that it is quite expensive to live now, like most people are finding it. But very safe place. I mean, very safe place to live. So.
Yeah, I think I was saying to you as well, I've got an old friend from long by, who stays in Jersey, but we've lost touch. So if anybody's listening and they know a Kathleen Clifford, she may be a different name now, please reach out because we were good friends and I'd love to get back in touch with her again. Yeah, I know you don't know her. You know, I know you don't know her, but her name might be changed now. It could be changed now. But someone would know her maiden name. And she lived in Mulgai as well. So if you're out there, get in touch because I lost touch with her because I was moving house and I gave her an address that I was moving to and the sale fell through. And I didn't have her contact details to get in touch with her again.
Where did you say she lived in Jersey? Where?
I don't know. I just know it's Jersey. Yeah, I just know it's Jersey, and she's got a daughter, so so she'll be thinking all day years she got in touch with me and I never replied, but I never got the house and I thought I was definitely getting this house, so I gave her this new address and we were really good friends. So I'd love to hear from her. She's around, so Spirit, give me a sign whether she's here or whether she's with you. Please let me know. Hopefully she's still here. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how Spirit will all cross.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that when I say I live in Jersey and people go, "Oh, do you know such and such event?" There's 110,000 people here. I know we all know each other. We don't really, but it's not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You just think it's this little small island and everybody knows each other. But when you say 110,000,
Well, actually, it is interesting because you cannot walk through town without knowing someone or someone or someone. So it's a beautiful place. I've been here about 38 years now. So might be time a little thing to move on in the next couple of years. I'm not entirely sure, but as we all say, watch this space. I'll do what Spirit want me to do. So
and on that, I'd like to say thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you, ladies.
It's been absolutely fabulous. Having you on. Yeah.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's just, and it's great just to I just love getting to know people that are doing the same journey, and as you say, we're all doing it differently, but we're having the same end. It's just, revolving around talents, and it's beautiful. So thank you for inviting me on, Alice and Judith. It's been beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spirit.
I've just noticed as well, my lovely friend and Judith as well, Nadia Rajami, who's a spiritual medium, psychic, hypnotherapist, you name it, she is it. She's got the full package, is on as well. So hello, my darling. Okay.
She's in lovely Ireland at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah, she lives in Ireland. Yeah, she lives in Ireland. She originated from France, but she lives in Ireland. Dublin. She lives in Dublin, and she's got her business there as well. She's a great soul. She really is. She's coming over to my daughter's wedding, actually. My daughter's getting married in August, so she's coming over to my daughter's wedding. So there's a lot happening next year in my life as well. I've got another grandchild coming in April, so and then the wedding in August, I think next year is she's just put international citizen Dublin, France, Switzerland, and can't wait for the wedding. I can't wait coming over. It's going to be great. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been lovely to meet you. I will have you
Thank
back
you,
on
ladies.
again. As I
Thank
said to
you.
as well.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
looking forward to that, having you back on. And when I start my new, it's still the same podcast. Sparkle Light Spiritual Chat Show is still there, and we're on the 4th season on that. But this other one in addition, I'm adding on in sequence to the show. But it's just a completely different aspect to it. So I'm looking forward to having you back again.
Thank you so much. Glad to be a part of it.
And Judith as well. It's great to see you, and I know it won't be long till pastures go by there and you start your new journey on your new podcast as well, which I totally wish you all the best and all the love in the world with, and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited, so I'll definitely be on and I'll be listening to when it kicks off on the 22nd of November, is it? Yeah.
Yes, 22nd of November in 2025. I think it's a big year for us all in different ways.
I do. Yeah. I feel 2025 is the year. It's just interesting, isn't it? It's like, come on, 2025.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on to the show, and also to our listeners as well. Remember, it's free to subscribe, to the Sparkle of Light Spiritual Chat Show channel, so that we can move on. Well, I can move on because Judith's moving on and her journey as well. And I can continue moving on and be back on my own some Todd again where it started.
But
you could always have guest mediums as your co-host every other time.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, actually.
I'm just putting it out there.
That's a very good idea. Yeah, I will take you up on that board, actually, because I think it's nice as well when you've got, it's fine doing it on your own occasionally, but it's nice actually working with somebody else too, because it just brings another vibrant energy to it.
Ladies, I'm open to being asked. That's all I'm saying.
And we should always support one another on our journey, and we should always be there for each other. I know I should have said goodbye, but I find we all get together and they bring us the right people at the right time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially as you get older, it's like, okay, you've done all that, you went through all that, and now I'm bringing you
you've seen what was wrong and what we shouldn't do and the way we shouldn't be. And I think it's lovely that we can all work together, but at the same time we can be open to our journeys and allowing for that development forward.
Absolutely.
But support each other at the same time. And that's the way it should be.
I'm excited for you both. I'm excited for myself.
2025.
I know.
Thank you for being on. Thank you for being on.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you, Judith, for being on the show with me tonight as well. And again, there are listeners out there, like, subscribe, follow. It's all free, but it just helps the podcast grow. So in saying that, I would like to say good night. And to everybody out there, stay safe and look after each other. Good.